But first, how can a 13-year-old boy stab and kill another child and be allowed to return to school the next day? No punishment, consequences, nothing. The kids call it doli, the law that allows them to get away with murder. It's the legal belief that those under the age of 14 are incapable of evil. Ask grieving parents Christy and Alan if they agree with that, after their son's killer walked free.
Here he comes. Oh, he's 180 it. Well done.
Brody Morris had the world at his feet.
Wakeboarding, snow skiing, motorbike riding, football, just anything he did, he was just good at.
Swinging through life, fearless and full of love.
Love you so much.
Here he is, hanging out with friends at his local park on the New South Wales Central Coast, hours before his life was cut short at just 13 years old. It was January 2022. Brody had recently had a falling out with another 13-year-old boy who had been suspended from school for fighting. The boy, who we can't name for legal reasons, had been sending Brody threatening messages. That night, the two were texting about meeting up for a fist fight. Brody's phone battery was dying, so he woke up his dad, Alan.
And said, "Can I grab your charger lead out of the car?" And I said to him, "Mate, if you're grabbing that, I need you to put it back." And he gave me a kiss, and that was the last moment I have with Brody.
Around 10:30 p.m, Brody snuck out of the house to meet up with the boy on a nearby street.
Did you know that he was going out at all? Did you know that anything had been going on with him and his friend at the time?
No.
Brody was walking into a death trap. The other boy had grabbed a kitchen knife before leaving his home, shoving it in the waistband of his pants. He had also sent a chilling Snapchat message to Brody's older brother, Jack.
Everyone wants to bash me. I just want everyone to f*** off. If I stab him, everyone will know I'll do it to them next.
Jack, who was 14 at the time, tried to stop the fight.
At the time, I didn't really know what to think. It didn't feel real. It still doesn't feel real.
When Brody and the boy came face to face, schoolmates had also gathered to watch the fight. Within seconds of fists being thrown, the other boy pulled out the knife, stabbing Brody 3 times in the chest. The crowd scattered, leaving Brody bleeding out on the footpath. Brody's brother Jack then received another message from the killer.
I used a stick.
Jack knew he was lying.
We were asleep. Jack had come in and just said, "Brody's been stabbed." So we just jumped in the car and went straight over there.
Clinging to life, Brody was rushed to Gosford Hospital, but nothing could be done.
Obviously I go back and think, if he didn't have a phone that was charged, would he have been in the place that he was at?
Brody's killer was charged with murder. His family forced to sit through a gruelling 5-week trial at Sydney's Supreme Court. Despite a mountain of evidence, including the text messages and mobile footage of the stabbing, the boy was found not guilty, based on the doli incapax law. Latin for incapable of evil. It means because of the boy's young age, he didn't know any better.
No accountability, no responsibility. It doesn't fall on anyone. It just doesn't make sense.
Australia-wide, doli incapax presumes a child under the age of 14 does not possess the necessary knowledge to have criminal intention, due to a lack of understanding of the difference between right and wrong. If that child is found not guilty on the basis of this law, like Brody's killer, they can then go back to their life No punishment, mandatory rehab or supervision.
For this case to be so open and shut and have him allowed to walk away free with no consequences, nothing on his record, to live a life happy, get married, have his 21st, his 18th birthday party. Brody don't have any of that.
But it could all change. A review of the law now underway in New South Wales. When doli incapax was introduced, 76% of children charged with a crime were convicted. Nearly a decade later, that figure has plummeted to just 16%.
We are not addressing the offending behaviour of these juveniles. That's what we have to do.
Victims advocate Howard Brown says doli incapax is doing more harm than good.
We should be providing treatment to these people so that, one, they don't completely destroy their life, and two, we don't put the community at risk. We're not doing either at the moment.
He says the law is stuck in the past.
What we experienced with children back in the 70s and the 80s, which led to the first changes to the Children's Criminal Proceedings Act in late 87. We did that because we started to notice that there were some changes being made. But that's 20 odd years ago.
The law is so well known among young criminals, they've even nicknamed it in one word: doli.
They have smartphones now, they have everything at their fingertips. This law is just not with the times of today.
Christy and Alan will never have their son back, and despite his killer being legally declared innocent, they are fighting to change the law.
I think it needs to be very case by case, obviously, because every case is different, but there needs to be responsibility and accountability for these kids.
What you need to do is find an Attorney General who has some kahunas, right, and has said, if we are going to keep our community safe, we have to make this change.
Brody's siblings, Jack and Lily, now using their harrowing experience during the trial to force change to the confronting court proceedings they endured.
You guys had to go to that trial as well. There was a lot of other kids your age that had to go and speak. It would have been an incredibly daunting situation.
Yeah, they were very hard on us. There was 13-year-old kids at the time. Yeah, definitely could have been done a bit differently.
We also had to see him every day, which could have been done differently. We were very close to him, which we shouldn't have to be.
These children are what we classify as vulnerable witnesses. So they should be giving their evidence from a remote location, so that should not have happened.
A lot should never have happened the night Brody left home. Now his grieving family's clinging to the hope his legacy will make a difference.
I just don't want this to be in vain. There's got to be some greater good that comes out of this.
Yeah, he was such a beautiful kid, and this law clearly isn't helping anyone, not Brody's family, and certainly not the boy who killed him, with no punishment or rehabilitation. What is to stop him doing it again? Findings of the review will be handed down by the end of the year, which will hopefully bring change, including better intervention and support for both sides.